y'all. This is Misha with As Long as You're Breathing, and y'all know how I love Every Life is a Story events. Well, we have one for you, and this young lady is right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Her name is Ally Durr, and I met her at, of all places, at House and Mouse on Blues Monday. And she was meeting with Eddie Cotton Jr., who, of course, have great respect for. He very well known in the blues world. And he was talking to her about music. I could tell he was giving her the benefit of his vast knowledge, which is indeed, he has a long, illustrious career to speak from, and that's what he was doing. But I was getting these intuitive hits, and I'm like, that girl needs to be on the show. That girl needs to be on the show. So I'm like, so how do I reach you? How do I reach you? I didn't interrupt while she was talking to him, but as soon as she was done, I'm like, here's my phone. How do I reach you? And I'm so glad I did, because you all are so going to be impressed with this young lady. We are doing this recorded, so I don't have to explain all the, you've got to be, have StreamYard enabled for the chat or any of that. But do put your comments in, tag us, let us know that you, if you have questions or whatever, reach out to us via Messenger. However, you all are going to want to touch base with this young lady, and she is going to come back and do more episodes, not just her story, but she is going to tell us her story first. So without further ado, I'm just going to let her get started and tell us all about herself. Y'all, Every Life is a Story event presents Ally Durr. Ally, tell us your story.
Hey, you all, how y'all doing? I would like to thank Maisha for having me on the show. Don't take it lightly. It's a very, very great opportunity. I'm just excited to be on, and as an uprising artist, I feel like this is a good platform, for me and also for Maisha as well. And like I said, I met her at Helen Mills, and I loved her spirit and her energy, and just I love her sound, and I've heard her sing, via Facebook, and I just love her energy, her spirit, and the direction that she's going. Um, I have a single that I put out last October 2020. So actually, you guys, October 10th is going to be his first anniversary. So I'm super, super excited, and I'm glad that it touched so many people. It's diverse of people, and that would really make me happy, because at first I was like, I don't know how other people are going to receive this music, but I was in the studio working on it, and um, a couple people came through, and they was listening to my session, and they was like, oh my god, I love this, I love it, and I'm like, oh man.
That always makes you feel good, because
Right,
you never
right.
know. You never know. And so, yeah, we need that. We need that. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I was like, oh man. So, but I'm gonna talk to you guys about how I got started into the music and writing and all of that. I grew up as a young girl singing in a church choir. My mom, she's a musician as well. She was the choir director. So I've learned a lot from her and her abilities, and she helped me to sing. And at a young age, I didn't like to sing. I don't know if it was because I don't know if it's because other people, other kids, wasn't uh, wasn't her daughter or her son, or her, they didn't belong to her. But I didn't want to make it seem like I was outshining, or
I see.
so I kind of like stood in the background, and like she was like, oh, I need you to sing. I'm like, Mom, I don't want to sing. I don't want to sing. But I grew out of that in my 20s. Um, there's some
You
things.
mean yesterday? Because you can't be much older than that.
Let me say, let me say, when I got into college, or like 18 and 20, 18 and 20. Okay. But so back to the musical journey. I sung in school choirs, part of, art functions and stuff. But I learned to play bass at 17 years old. Um, I heard my cousin in church played bass, and I loved the way he played. And so I'm like, I want to learn how to play bass. you know.
Yeah.
And I got a bass instructor. His name is Nate Henson, and also my cousin that played bass. His name is Jerry Shoulders. But anyway, Nate taught me the bass, and I took lessons for 3 months, Maisha, and asked him. I said, "Well, how I'm doing?" He was like, "You don't need me no more." I'm like, "What?" I'm
There
like,
you
"What?"
go.
He was like, he said, "Because if you can sing it, you can play it." So I that stuck within me. So I just kept playing the bass and kept playing it. And when I got like into college around 19 to 20, I picked up playing acoustic guitar. And I taught myself on that. And the writing part came when I had so many stories, excuse me, at a young age, kind of going through sickness with my mom and, you
Mhm.
know, peer pressure in school, a lot of little things. And I just began writing. I didn't want to share anything with people. I don't know if I didn't trust people or if I felt like somebody was going to tell or something. So I just wrote everything in a notebook. And my feelings, I wrote everything down and I wrote it as poetry. I took a class in college, English literature, and we used to write poems about Shakespeare. And so we had to write our own poems based on Shakespeare. And so I got an A out the class, and I was like, okay, maybe I should start writing poetry. I
That would be a good sign. Yeah. If you're doing something centered around Shakespeare and you got an A, that would be a good sign. Yeah.
was like, maybe I should write poetry. So I got into that more, and I was like, okay, this is a way for me to be expressive. And on the spiritual side, I saw it as a communication to God,
Wonderful.
because that was my therapy of saying, okay, God, I know you know what I'm dealing with. So let
Mhm.
me just write as I'm communicating to you, because I don't want to say it verbally, because I feel like when she put things out in the atmosphere, it comes back to you.
Yes.
And I just wrote it down and say, hey, this is my whatever, you know. And from that, it started developing to songs. From my poetry, it started developing to songs. And um, my single that I wrote, "What You Living For," I actually wrote that as a poetry, and it's actually longer than the actual song. And so I was watching the news, and it was a lot of things going on, and I was seeing things in my surroundings, seeing things, with friendships, seeing things in my own behavior, and seeing things with younger kids, and just environmental things and changes that was going around. And I'm like, you know, what are we living for? You know, it got to be another way around, you know, these situations, these things. And I truly believe in Maisha that if you want something to change, you got to change some things within yourself.
Absolutely, girl. We talk about change. We want things different, but we don't do differently.
You don't do
We
different.
want, right. We want things different, but then nothing within us changes.
That's,
So what we're really saying is, I want everything around me and all of you to change, but I don't see the need. There's nothing wrong with me. There's no and the only thing we have control over is us.
mm-hmm.
The only thing we can have expectation of is ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
But what we want to do is expect
Mm-hmm.
of everyone else. Well, we have no right to expect of anyone but ourselves.
That's right. That's right.
And then once we put ourselves where we expect everyone else to be, then we
Mm-hmm.
will attract those who are like us, who are in the same vibration as us, who that and so until we are what we expect. Yeah, so you are absolutely right. If you want change, be that change.
Right. Right. Right.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's right. That's right. And with that change come forth healing too. You know.
Absolutely. That is how we heal. Absolutely, girl.
That's how we
Yes.
heal. We have to change. We have to seek help. We have to seek things that are different from what we used to, and
Absolutely.
and that's how I develop my music, Maisha. It's like I see a form of healing. feeling.
Absolutely, girl.
I
Which
feel
I
some,
knew, which I knew.
I feel a form of healing because sometimes I'll be like, okay, is my gift? Is my gift is healing? Like, is it through the music and But
Your gift is healing.
it
Yes,
is, and it
it
helps me.
is.
I promise you, Maisha, when I'm singing, I feel like a totally different person. As an artist, we come out of ourselves and we'll be a whole different person. And then when we
Yes,
done playing or performing, people like, oh my God. And I'm like, and I'm still here trying to be modest and all, like, I appreciate you. But it's a whole different feeling when you up there
it
because
is.
you need it, and they need it. So it's like that's what I love about really being an artist, a musician, because you you begin to feel the lyrics and the sound, and once you do that, your audience feel it.
And that is why what we are writing and saying and putting out and doing is so important, is
Yep.
because we are feeling it and being that, and the audience is feeling it and being that. And so
Mhm.
that is, for it to be healing, that it does have to be healing music. I mean,
It
because
does.
not all music is necessarily healing,
It's
but
It's
right.
not. It's not. And um, I'm working on some more music. And my plan, I'm not rushing it, but my plan is to have it out either the end of 2022 or 2023 because I'm still working on it. And it's going to be personal. It's going to be personal, but it's going to be also a healing and life changing too because it's going to be a connection between myself, life, life, myself, how I deal, how I cope, just experience, listening, taking things in, you
Hmm.
know. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for everybody to hear that once it comes out. Um, and I just make sure I just enjoy what I do.
I know it's emotional. It is when what you
Very.
do, yeah, when what you do is healing on the level you're talking about. I notice that you're thirsty already. I am too. Because what we're talking about is it's energy work. I mean,
Right.
we're talking about, you were talking about, I didn't want to verbalize it, because once you put it out there, once you verbalize it, then it becomes vibration.
Hmm.
It's out there. And
Yep.
so
Exactly.
you're absolutely right. And so um all that can sound a little out there. I mean, it can sound like, what are they talking about? But no, it's
Uh-huh.
very true. It's very true that everything is energy. We all are, quantum physics has shown we are made of
Mhm.
energy. And so vibration matters. And music, the frequency the music is in, the words we use, our very name, what we were
Mhm.
named, has a certain vibration to
It
it.
does. It
And
does.
yeah, and so that's why some people change their name, and they change their name and their lives change, is because
Mhm.
the vibration of it. That is so. And some people, you were talking about the energy that I have and that sort of thing. It's got to do with it's the tone of voice I have. It's
Right.
the whole, it's everything. Because one time I was talking to some, well, my quantum emotional healer, the way I got so much better, and I'm like, I don't get it. There are people who say, we just log on just to listen to you talk. Sometimes we don't even understand the topic you're talking about, but we just listen to you talk and we feel better. And he said, it doesn't matter what you're talking about. It's the tone of your voice. It's the
Yep.
vibration. It's the
Right.
frequency. And of course, I was new to all of this, and I'm like, that makes no sense to me. But now I get it, because I
Mhm.
listen to a lot of music just for the frequency of it, because just the frequency of it, and I feel physically better. I
Mhm.
can have, my allergies can be up. I can find certain frequencies and my allergies are better. So yes, absolutely. There are times when writing things down, yes, we are purging ourselves, clearing ourselves of them,
Yep.
but there are ways we want to verbalize. We want to be careful
Mhm.
how we verbalize things,
Right.
because we are putting that vibration out there. So you want to put it out there in a positive way, because that's the vibration you want. Yeah. So I loved how you said that. So, girl, all of that was so loaded. All that was so loaded. And you said very little about being a little girl. And what little you did say, you were a very sensitive little girl who didn't want to outshine anybody else.
Yeah, yeah, like and it's you'd be surprised what you'd be surprised what children think and how they feel, and
Yes.
and how sensitive and children have discernment.
Yes.
They can
More
feel.
so because they haven't learned yet. They haven't learned yet not to. We're
Hmm.
taught not to. We're born knowing all of that. We're born not conditioned.
That's right.
The the bad things we take on, the negative things we take on, the inconsiderate things we take on, the all of those things, all
Hmm.
those are conditioning that we get, where we're told, no, don't do that, don't be that way.
Right.
The
Right.
world is really this way, so don't.
Right.
All that's things we take on. And so when we're little, we are sensitive to things like that. We don't want to
Hmm.
hurt the other one, and
Right.
we learn to do all of that. You don't see little kids who hate each other because they look different or act different
Mhm.
or are from a different place or whatever. But give them a couple of years, let them be programmed, and by golly, they do. And where'd that come from?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us more. You got into your like college years, and all of a sudden you didn't mind stepping up and performing. So, what was the change? What caused that? What in you decided? Okay, so you got this A, and you decided, okay, I'm writing poetry in line here with Shakespeare, and so I'm going to write songs now, and I'm going to record. What gave you that? Well, that bravery. Where did that bravery come from?
You know what? It had to happen during the pandemic.
The pandemic. Wow, what that pandemic did so much. Okay, so let's hear it. So
It
what was
happened.
the transition,
It happened
the
during.
transformation?
It happened during the pandemic. When the pandemic first hit, I bought an electric guitar
An electric.
because
Okay.
I
Different vibration there. Different. Same but different.
yeah, I bought an electric guitar because like I say, I look up to few guitarists like Eddie Cotton and Jerika Singleton and
Yeah.
Ben Sterling and
Hmm.
a lot of Jubu Smith. I look up to those artists and I'm like, you know, they're very inspirational to me, and I
Hmm.
just love their passion and their sound and what they're sharing to the world. And so
Yeah.
um, I wanted to learn. I wanted to be able to feel what they were feeling with the sound. And so when I got the electric, I played it every single night, Maisha, almost at 3 in the morning.
Wow.
And I didn't look. I didn't have a clue as to what I was doing because to me, I feel like the acoustic and the electric is different. But um,
Yes.
I just kept writing. I kept writing songs and playing at the same time, and I got this. It's almost like it was a little birdie or a dove just came and dropped something in my lap, and it was the song. So I looked at, I always write my songs down on sheets of paper. So when I got the song and I was going through it and stuff, and I was playing my electric with it, getting the melody and all, getting it all together. And when I finalized it, I'm like, okay, this is an actual song. So what do I do with this?
Oh,
Like,
oh
it's
my gosh, let's see. Well, I have an actual honest to goodness song. What do I do with it?
an actual song, so it just dropped right in my lap. So I'm like, okay, I need to go record this. I need to go record this. And I remember me and my mother sung at one of my friends' weddings back in January 2020, and it was a guy that played the keyboard. His name is Terrence Evans, and
Mhm.
I was trying to think of some producers that could help me, that could help, bring my song to, how I want it to be. And so I just thought, just says, get him. So I messaged him and we got together and worked on it. And we went into Crown Studios. It's owned by Shell Ends. He's a great engineer, mixing engineer, producer. And we went in there and completed that song, Meisha. It came out in October. So I knew it was something for me to do. Like it was prompt. Like I needed to do it. And when it came out, I didn't know how people were going to respond to it. And when it came out, it was just like it was massive. It just hit everywhere. And people were calling like, "Oh my God, Ali, I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my God, I love it." Whites and blacks and all kinds of people were like messaging me on IG. "I love this music. I love it. I love it." And that was something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to target diverse people. I want my music to be diverse because I want unity. That's my thing about it. I want unity in the world.
Right. I'm ready for us to just be people.
Yeah. I want
I'm so tired of people seeing other people. I'm ready for us to just look at each other and see people.
exactly. And I think
I'm so tired of I'm so tired of people saying, well, are they? No, they're a person. That's all I see is people.
right.
I'm so tired of the labels.
I just wanted love. I wanted
Love. Yeah.
genuine love, and
Right.
it made my heart glad when that song did that because I knew I wasn't alone. Spiritually I wasn't alone. It was something that I needed. It was something that the world needed.
Mhm.
And from there point I'm like, okay, I'm ready to make some more music. So
Now I'm ready for more. The
I'm
people
ready.
liked it. People liked it. All people liked it. Not these people, those people. People liked it. So now you're ready to make people music. People ask me what I sing, and I look at them and I go, I sing Meisha music. It doesn't fit any genre. I sing Meisha music. Sometimes it sounds country, sometimes it sounds pop, sometimes it sounds, I don't know. It's Meisha music. And because it's for people.
Exactly.
And so now you hit a song that was for people and now you're lit up.
You're
Yeah,
lit up, man. Like
you're lit up.
and like and also too, Maisha, things that words and slogans and sayings that are given to me, I write them all down.
Hmm.
So it's like, okay, if it's for me, it's like a messenger. If it's
Hmm.
given to me, then I need to give it to them.
Yes.
So the lyrics part is motivation. It's like motivational speaking.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, this is something that is going to sound a little out there, but I told you earlier I have my angel squad. This is something that we're coming to. People, I have friends that are so, you go on and you just sing your stuff before you don't even have it copywritten yet. Well,
Mm,
one, if somebody does steal your stuff, the way you prove it's yours to begin with is you have your handwritten where you've written it out.
yeah.
And if you've just gone on Facebook and you've got where you're sitting there with your handwritten stuff and said, I just wrote this, let me play it for you. What better thing have you got to take into court to show it's yours to begin with? So, but the thing of it is, what we're given is because we are open and to receiving it.
Mm-hmm.
We are open to receiving it. So, yes, it is a gift. And it's a gift to be shared with the world.
That's right.
Now, it, it's a gift that's being given to anyone who is open to receive. You, the person next to you could get it too if they were open to receive it, but you're open to receive it. And not only are you open to receive it, but then you're willing to take what you got because three people in the same room may have gotten the same gift
Mm-hmm.
and received it even. They may have been saying, okay, yeah, I got that. But maybe they don't do anything with it. And maybe they weren't supposed to. Maybe it was just to be personal for them because they needed it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's what you follow through and do with it. So, and maybe they were to follow through and do something with it. So, yes, we are given things. It is all, it's everyone has access to. We all have access to this body of work, to these ideas are not just ours. We all have access to it. These are gifts. The songs I have, yes, they're uniquely mine because I take them, I'm willing to receive them, and then I'm willing to put the energy into them and then do something with them and take them and put them out there to share and help and motivate and inspire. So, yes, my uniqueness is added into it
Mm-hmm.
to turn it into a gift I was given and then I repackage as a gift to the world. So,
Mm-hmm.
my uniqueness is added into it.
Right.
But it was a gift to me to begin with. So,
Mm-hmm.
it's a gift that I'm then regifting to the world. So, and that's what you're doing. You know, you're accepting the gift, you're then adding your uniqueness into it, and then you're regifting it. And so that's the beauty of it is you're open to doing that.
Mm-hmm.
You're willing vessel, you know, open and then willing to put your own energy back into it to do that. And that is a beautiful thing because that shows vulnerability. Just like being here today shows vulnerability.
It is.
Yeah. Using your voice to begin with, to sing in front of people,
Yep.
to share your feelings, you know, to, okay, I wrote this down in a notebook because I was feeling this or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's vulnerability.
It is.
But that's what Every Life is a Story is about. I tell everyone that when we will, my antivirus just came up. It's like, whoa, what is that? When we will share with the world, every time we do that, there is somebody out there who needed it.
Mm-hmm.
And when we will do that, we are helping someone in some way. We're
Mm-hmm.
inspiring them, we're motivating them. There's somebody who's like, wow, I can do that too, or I needed to hear that, or that's me, or there's somebody who gets something from it. So by sharing our stories, by being open and vulnerable,
Mm-hmm.
when we wall ourselves up, what your song, but you know, why are we living? You know, what is it? What is the point of life if
That's
what we
right.
do is we wall ourselves off?
That's right.
Why are we here?
Mm-hmm.
I have a song that starts, "Who am I and why am I here?"
Mm-hmm.
That's the first line of the song. And it says that's what we all want to know. Well, walling ourselves off is not going to get us the answer.
Right.
And so that's what Every Life is a Story, and As Long as You're Breathing is all about, is sharing yourself with the world, but doing it in a way that first, of course, you have to take care of yourself. You don't do it in a haphazard way because if you don't take care of yourself, then you have nothing to share anyway.
Right. That's right.
Right. If you're not sharing the very best of you, if you haven't taken care of you, so what you have to give is what you came here to be. If it's not the very best of you, then yeah. So, and that is what most people who come on, that is what they have to share. That is what you have to share. You're like, okay, I had all these things that I wrote down because I needed to heal. And then you've turned them into songs.
Yep.
And so that's where you took care of you. And now you're sharing them. And that is brave and bold and motivational and inspirational. And that is what we do for people,
Mm-hmm.
for everybody, all kinds of people, just people, because people are people.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And I'm willing. I'm willing to share my uniqueness with others. My mom tells me all the time. She said, "Ali, you're unique."
Yes.
She's like, "There's something special about you." And I be like, I hear it. I'm like, okay. But I'm just, I'm willing to share my uniqueness with people. I just, I'm also amazed how I can connect to people of all ages,
Mm-hmm.
and I can talk to them and and communicate with them, and sometimes I'd be like, "Am I your age?" Or and it's just a special thing for me, and I embrace that. I'm grateful for that because it's called, I think it's wisdom.
It is wisdom. And yes, I, I'm quite sure that you belong to the energy group of ancient wisdom. I have no doubt that you do. I'm quite sure you do. But your mom is right. You do have a uniqueness to you that is special. But that is, so many people fear, so many people fear being a part of a whole because they think that they sacrifice their uniqueness when they do that.
Hmm.
The whole becomes great because of each person's uniqueness. A
Mhm.
whole is never great unless it values each person's uniqueness.
Right.
A whole is not, a collective never expands unless it values the uniqueness of each individual of the collective. And then each individual that brings their uniqueness to that collective is stronger and better for
Mhm.
having brought their uniqueness to that collective.
Yeah.
So they're not really separate. They're one and the same, but you
Mhm.
don't lose your uniqueness. Your uniqueness is celebrated by being willing to be a part of the collective, and you gain from that sharing. So your uniqueness, by you being willing to share it with the collective whole, that makes it all the more special.
Yep.
Because if you kept that uniqueness to yourself, who would know?
Right.
Who would know? So you could be the most unique thing in the world. How would anyone know? How would you know if you don't
Exactly.
share it?
That's right. How would I know?
How would you know?
Yep. If I
Yeah.
didn't give that energy off and
Yes.
comes back. That's right.
Yeah. That is why we are unique. Is so then
Mhm.
we are drawn in to expand the world with our uniqueness. The world benefits from it, but then we benefit back.
That's right.
It's a positive energy loop. Yeah. So and you're going to be you are a beautiful part of that. So yeah, more energy work. Gotta have another drink.
Well,
So are you already in studio working on the new stuff, or are you just putting the new stuff together, getting ready to where are you at on all of that?
okay. I'm getting. I already have the list and songs and lyrics and stuff ready. I'm working on going into the studio at this point. Um, Also, too, um, I have a show, my first show, at Urban Foxes, December 10th. That should be a Friday.
Cool.
Yeah, that should be a Friday, and I will, if it's okay, if I send a link into.
Absolutely. Is it okay? I mean, I'm gonna be hurt if you don't. I'm like, okay, can we be there live? Can you know what can we do? How's this work? When you say show, what is it a live show or are you gonna do it online? What do you mean when you say show? Let's operationally define show.
Right. Okay. So it's me and it's another artist named Bark. So I have a set. He has a set, and it's called um concert after hours or something like that. So it's going to be a nice event. I actually attended one before the pandemic, and it was very very nice. Um, Warm atmosphere, and people was just the artist was just sharing the music and singing, and just a nice vibe. So I'm excited, looking forward to it. Looking forward to presenting my latest single, and also some newer songs that I wrote that's gonna come out, and some more things. So I'm just putting it out there. December 10th. That's a Friday. Thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'll have to talk about that and see how we can best showcase that. Best,
Mhm.
yeah, that would be awesome. So the song that you did record, I listened. You sent it to me. I listened, loved it. So do you mind quoting some of the lyrics for us?
Oh yeah, sure, sure, sure. Um, you see the riots, you see the news. People caught up in drama, struggling with the same issues, looking for love in all the wrong places. As close friends turn into two faces. Racial slurs and accusations, violent behavior, death really has no age. Lord, give us your grace. Where's the love shown in these lost places? What the world is coming to is everybody's question. But who are you living for should be the main question. What you're living for should be for motivation to keep striving, hoping, and enjoying creation.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Ally Durr's music is healing infused. Yeah. um, Soulful vocals and sweet gospel harmonies, a
Mhm.
unique brand of conscious music that uplifts and inspires. Explain conscious music, because that is not a term you hear very often. Conscious music. Let's talk, girl. What does that mean? Because when I read that, I'm like, hmm, I know what it means, but I'm like, she wrote that. I'm gonna ask her to tell us what that means.
The healing of the mind, and you know, I used to hear it saying, "To let your conscience be your guide." You know,
Right.
let let um let the wisdom follow you. Let let enlightenment follow you. Let the insight follow you. Let it lead you into, the right out the right direction will lead you to it out of harmful decisions and places and situations. So that's why I said the conscious mind kind of like, because it's just like a person that's an addict. Like if they're my thing is make sure with my music is, if an addict person is listening to my music, I want it to stick in here to make them say, I don't want this no
I
more.
want this.
I don't need this no more. Who is this person? Where can I find this person?
Yeah. And I want what they've got. Yeah.
Right. So that's what I was meaning when I said that. It does something to your mind. Like it makes you kind of rethink a situation. You know.
I love how you're putting that, because I'm just gonna go there. I'm gonna go there. The term awakening is being thrown around so much now, and it sounds so woo woo.
Mm-hmm.
Awakening or consciousness means you weren't aware of something and now you are. And when you are aware of something, then the responsible thing to do is act upon it. You're
Right.
not responsible when you didn't know. When you weren't awake to something, aware of something, conscious of something, you're not responsible.
That's right.
So as a child, when you were reprogrammed, into thinking that people were not just people,
Mm-hmm.
then you weren't awake to the fact that you had been programmed that way. You weren't
Right.
awake to the fact that you had this programming that was guiding your life. And we have various stages of awakening. We awaken to things, and yet we have these programs running in us that are very hard to overcome. And that's the healing we have to do. That's the clearing we have to do. We have to clear those things out.
Mm-hmm.
We have all sorts of programs running in us, programs that keep us stuck in things that we're awake to the fact that we're stuck in it.
That's right.
And we're awake to the fact that we should get out of it. We're not awake to the fact why we're doing it, because we don't realize we know, and we're like, why am I still here? I don't want to be here. I'm still here. What's keeping me here? We are living in a time when we do better know how to heal from those things. We've come a long way from just talking to our psychotherapist for 20 years, thank God. We now understand healing so much better. We understand energy medicine and those things so much more. So, but that's all awakening means, or becoming conscious means, or any of those things. It's not woo woo. It means we are now aware of things we were not aware of. We now know how to use modalities we did not know how to use. We now have access to and understand things we once did not understand. And because we do know how, we are therefore responsible to move in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just because you're awake to something doesn't mean you instantaneously can make that shift. Shifting can sometimes take a bit, but it's getting easier because of the new modalities and the way things are. It is getting easier. The shifting, we don't have to do 20 years of psychotherapy to shift from, as we were talking earlier, we do have faster ways of healing energetically, etc. Thank God, because I was so sick for so long, and the fog was so bad for so long. Am I well? No, because I live in a body that was damaged. I went through physical trauma. Did I overcome all the things that I was awake to? No, because I had blocks to heal from. I had reprogramming to figure out, to even awaken to that I was programmed to be a certain way, and then to awaken to, okay, you have to figure out how to change that.
Yep.
But that's what you're talking about. Conscious music means it's music that awakens us to
That's right. Yep.
this is what the issue is. And so it's music that moves us forward all the time toward healing. It's music that moves us forward toward, okay, I'm not telling you that just because you know what your problem is, what your issue is or whatever, that you have to instantaneously fix it. But I am saying you're aware, so now be moving toward it. And so it's about music that is constantly moving you forward. And it's written in a way not to shame you. It's not the old, it's not the, and if you don't do it, something bad's going to happen to you. But it's all presented in a way that makes you want to go forward. It makes you want to do it. And it's presented in a way and performed in a way, and the frequencies and all of those things are in place that they actually help with the healing process, and they help move you that way. They're actually all part of the healing process and help with the becoming more conscious, and they help with all of that because we now know how to use those things to get us there faster. That's part of the healing modalities, is these frequencies and using those things. So that's what conscious music is, or being using music for consciousness. And that's what awakening is. It's not this, it's not this big woo-woo thing. It just means we now are aware of things, and we're using these terms for it. And we can do some of this healing faster because we now understand energy medicine better, and we understand frequency and vibration. And music is frequency and vibration. And so that is, earlier you were talking about, wow, I'm a healer. Let's go there. When you became conscious, when did you become conscious of being a healer?
I,
Oh yeah. When were you conscious of that? Because that one, when that hit me, I was like, holy smokes, this stuff is healing. Holy smokes. And now I'm responsible to use it that way. Holy smokes. Okay, that's probably not the way I thought it, but that's how I'm saying it.
I can say by, communication. The strangers that I connect with, is just their vibe changes when they come around me. The energy changes. And some people they can't really get along with, and but it's like when I come around, it's a different energy.
Yeah. Amazing how people that can't be in the same room together can be in the same room together if you're playing music. Yeah, it's like, I don't like that person, but I want to hear her play. So I may sit over here, but I can still be in the room with them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it might not be, it might not, I might be saying it the wrong way as a healer or something. I don't want to seem like I'm just.
No. You are not saying it wrong. You are a healer. You are a healer.
Okay. I want to, because I make jokes about it, like, I'm a healer or something, but
you're not saying it wrong. You are a healer. What you're doing is healing.
Yeah, I do make jokes about it, but I feel like I'm finding a way, I'm finding my way with some things, and I feel different, in with certain people and certain energies, and the way that I move, I just feel different,
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, we're all healers of some sort, and we can all heal ourselves. I mean, so we're all healers. That we all have that gift, and because we can all heal ourselves, we're self-healing. And so, but yes, music is a gift that heals, and because it is a way of sharing, you're using it to heal yourself. You know that it is a self-healing gift for you. So then the fact that you are then becoming vulnerable and sharing it with others, and of course, I became aware at a very young age that I was reaching people and touching people and affecting people. Well, that's what healing is. But
Mm-hmm.
it was that aspect of we've become aware, we have awakened to, we have become conscious of how to not just touch people, reach people, but how to use touching and reaching people to then actually go a step further and clear and heal.
Mm-hmm.
And and um and that's what you're doing because you're making a point of um, healing infused. You know your music is healing infused. You're writing it in a way, and listen to your lyrics. Your lyrics are healing infused, but you didn't even think of them that way. You innately knew the message given to you. The message given to you was healing infused
Mm-hmm.
because that's the direction you're being led in. Whereas my generation is having to make that transition. We're having to change the mindset because we were more geared toward
Mm-hmm.
just clearing.
Mm-hmm.
What you're being given is healing infused, and your generation is more acceptable of that automatically. That's more of what they're looking for automatically is the healing infused, where I'm kind of having to convince my generation, no, we need to write and make our music healing infused. And I'm not saying everything you do has to be that way. I'm not, but we need to make what we're doing healing infused. And I love that term, healing infused. And I wish I'd had it a few weeks ago. It'd be in my latest story that I turned in, but then it wouldn't be my sound. It wouldn't be my voice. So no, I'm glad I didn't. But I love it. Yeah. And actually I did have it. You sent it to me and I didn't use it because I've had this for weeks. But yeah, it's absolutely it's in her continuation of work to bring peace, enlightenment, and healing to the world through her music. That girl is exactly what you're doing, and that is your mission. That is what you're doing, and you know that, and that is such a beautiful thing because that is, I mean, that's big,
Yeah.
big. That is big, and that is bold, and that it takes somebody brave to come out and say, I do healing infused music, and I'm doing it to help heal the world and enlighten the world because I'm all about conscious music, and I mean, those are terms that people are like, what? Yeah, at the same time, and they can feel the vibration coming off, and they're like, I'm not really sure what she said, but that's important stuff, and she's going to do it, because they can feel it, and so that's all of that is brave and bold. And here you were at your mama's choir teaching, mama, I don't want to sing. And so I'm so glad that you decided that you did. But
Yeah, I'm glad to.
okay, so you're going to do the show December 10th, and you're going to record the new album 22 and 23.
2022 and 2023.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. And are you going to just do music, or are you going to also put out poetry as well, or are you just going to keep it all in music? Where are you going there?
You got a good point. I'm probably gonna put it all into the music and
Okay.
let you giving me some ideas too.
Oh no, surely not. Well, there's so much to be done with it. So,
Yeah.
okay, so that you said this is going to be my first show. Where do you envision going with shows? When you say you want to do shows, what do you see for yourself?
Very want to say
Oh, I lost you. Maybe she's not supposed to tell me. Well, hopefully Ally will be back with me shortly. I'm going to go ahead and go to single screen. As y'all can see, Ally is a very special young lady who is very gifted, very talented. Y'all heard the song that she has out, and I'm going to put the link to it in the comments so y'all can get to it. This girl, her energy, she talked about my energy whenever we were in the room together. I felt her energy, knew that we had to have her on. We've been trying to pull this together for a while now. There's been illness and that sort of thing, so we weren't able to. But she's obviously a very special young lady. And so we're going to give her a few minutes here and see if we get her back on. Mercury retrograde, folks. Yeah. But maybe she's not supposed to tell us what she's going to do. Maybe it's supposed to be a secret. In the meantime, here's no, she coming back. For those who are interested in what Ally does, she is here in Jackson, Mississippi. Um, we will have her links up, all of those things, so you can find her. I'm looking to see. I'm trying to watch for her so I don't miss her coming in because it doesn't make a noise. So I want to see her as soon as she comes in. So and I don't want to ignore you all either. So, but yes, I'm excited that she's going to do a show. We'll try to bring that to you all. That would be amazing if we can do that. But yes, the night that I met her, she was meeting with Mr. Eddie Cotton Jr. And so I didn't want to interfere with that meeting. But as soon as they were through talking, I was like, I handed her my phone. I said, I need your contact stuff. I want you on my show. And she's like, she looked at me and she's like, your show. And I'm like, yeah, I want to talk to you. I want your story. And she's like, oh, okay, I want to do it. And she just gave it to me. And so we just energetically connected without really talking, but we knew we wanted to do it. And so, as you can see, and we really have not gotten to speak. We've shared messages. You know, I share stuff with her and she shared some stuff with me, but we really haven't gotten to talk until she logged on just before the show to do the show. And I had her bio that she had sent me and I'd read it. And so we talked just briefly before the show. And but I knew that we have the same mission, the same ideas, we're coming from the same place and the same goals. It looks like she's not going to be able to come back and join us. So I'm so very glad that we had Ally Durr with us. Her story is certainly motivational and inspiring. This young lady here in Jackson, Mississippi, who didn't want to outshine the other children when her mama was teaching choir, stayed in the back, but had these things going on in her life that she didn't want to verbalize either. She didn't want to put the vibration out there, but she was writing them down. And was also drawn to musical instruments and just had a natural talent for them. And all of these things came together. And then she started actually letting that vibration out into the world. And then when the pandemic came, she's like, wow, it all came together. It was handed to her in a gift as a whole song. And she put that song out, and it did great with people, not a type of people, but people. And she realized that she does have a gift to heal, to help heal the world. And that is her vision. And it's my vision for all of us too, because we are all healers of some sort. Your story, whatever it is, everything that you do, whoever you are, when you touch people, you have a chance to be healing in some way. When you show your vulnerability, when you let people see that I've been through something, but I came through it, you're healing. You're healing yourself, and you're helping that other person heal. We all have the opportunity to help others heal, and we heal ourselves. So, every life is a story. Everybody's story is just as important. My story is not any more important than yours. Ally's story is not any more important. It's just we're brave enough and bold enough to get on here and tell you about it. Brave enough and bold enough to get out there and show the world. If you've got a story that you want to show the world, if you're brave enough and bold enough, get a hold of me and let me know, okay? I'd love for you to help you do that. And as far as long as you're breathing, keep living goes, I want every day for y'all to live in great big capital letters. Thanks for joining.